A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Our chairman, Mr. Atul Termonikar, our guest of honor, our top management team, our esteemed principal, Miss Melissa Maria, our academic leadership team, our teachers, our staff, and our loving parents. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 16th graduation ceremony of IBDP, students of the Global Indian International School, Smart Campus, Singapore. Today, we all gather here to take a moment to celebrate our young graduates with joy and pride, both of which are rightly deserved by parents and students alike as they get ready to turn the tassels of their caps. Today signifies the culmination of many years of hard work in the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge that will enable our students to embrace opportunities and take on challenges with a clear vision and purpose. This major milestone in every student's life becomes a day for them to remember as they wholeheartedly cherish every experience and person who has been a part of their unforgettable journey.
Following the Global Indian International School's philosophy of making its students citizens of the world, the school's practices encompass fostering global competence in its students to fulfill its mission of educating, empowering, and enlightening lives. And so, regardless of a recent pandemic, our students still manage to emerge stronger and more resilient than ever, carrying a fresh new outlook on life. To begin this special day, I would now like to call upon our Deputy Head Boy, Pratyush Bansal, and Cultural Secretary, Arohita Monikar, to deliver this welcome address.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. After countless hours of rigorous work and labor, the time has finally come to sit back and reap the fruits of your hard work. My name is Arohi.
My name is Pratyush.
And we would like to extend a hearty congratulations to the class of 2022 for receiving your IB diploma and successfully graduating with flying colors. We are so proud of our seniors. We're so proud of our seniors for securing wonderful placements in various universities around the world. You've shown us how to persevere through the highs and the lows and chase our goals. This journey to success isn't easy, but you have shown us that it's possible if we remain persistent and face all challenges with the determination to succeed.
While you gear up for this next big step of your life, take a moment to reflect upon the incredible journey, a culmination of 12 years of hard work, memorization, solving difficult problems, building extensive extracurricular portfolios, pestering teachers for clarifications, and many others. They must have seemed impossible, but have all come to fruition and helped you gain admission in the university of your choice. Today, as you adorn the cap, gown, and hold your degree in your hands, you will have those bittersweet memories of sleepless nights, best friends, stressful times, free periods, haunting deadlines, and the love and support of all the GIIS teachers. Celebrating the hard work of students would be incomplete without appreciating the value and the valuable contribution of parents and teachers whose patience and everlasting support cannot be taken for granted.
Today, we are gathered here to celebrate not just your remarkable IB diploma milestone, but also your remarkable growth into the global citizen that you have blossomed into today. This is the moment to reflect upon your growth into intelligent, caring, creative thinking, and risk-taking trailblazers who champion social and environmental change and have shown us how to make an impact in the world despite setbacks due to the pandemic. The class of 2022, you have inspired students of GIIS with your exceptional potential and fire ambition to challenge boundaries and redefine them.
As your juniors who have always looked up to you, we would like to express our gratitude to you for your immense support and inspiration throughout this year. To celebrate your exceptional achievement, We sincerely hope you enjoyed the various events we have planned out for you today. This is the moment that you have awaited forever. It's your time to go out into the world, chase your dreams, and shine. We wish you all the very best as you embark on a new journey with endless dreams and possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pratyush and Arhi. I would now like to invite our principal, Ms. Melissa Maria, to address the graduates-to-be and make the day a memorable one with the warmth of her words.
Firstly, I think before I start, let me apologize to our parents. You had to wait. Our earlier program spilled over, and it took a little while for us to settle down. So thank you so much for your patience. And to our graduates, I love your enthusiasm, the clapping. Thank you. So let me start. Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our guest of honor, Dr. Vanika Rao, members of the management, our invited guests, parents, our 11th standard students who've really worked during the holidays to put this event together, and my dear, very enthusiastic graduate students. Well, maybe you can spare those till I finish. It'll be great then, yeah? Okay. You know, I was telling the previous batch how overwhelming it is to have you all back here physically. 2 years hiatus. I know the yearning that this group has had to have physical meetings, an event. And yesterday was immense testimony to see the fire, to see the enthusiasm on the ground with the sports event. So yes, it feels great, and I am indeed proud to be addressing the parents as well as our beaming graduate students. I'm sure that all of us sitting in this auditorium today have mixed feelings. A sense of elation, we are elated that our students are on their onward journey. And at the same time, like I said, this enthusiasm is so contagious. I'm really going to miss it because there's going to be the sense of emptiness with our graduates moving out. And as you move to university, and more so towards the 21st century, there are a few things that are pretty pertinent, and I think I should be sharing those with you. Now, at the cost of sounding a bit preachy, I'll still share them with you and ask you to ponder on those, right? The first one, very, very important, is to believe in the uniqueness of you. You are an absolute blessing for your parents, for your siblings, and for your family. Therefore, treasure this uniqueness that is there. Secondly, believe in yourself. Since you have been created as a perfect human being. And like I say, our Creator, He never creates junk. Therefore, value your life. And no matter what the situation, your life is valuable. So value it. Thirdly, believe that you're here for a purpose. Now, what that purpose is, you have to figure out. Is it getting your best grades, making a huge name, being of service, or making a difference? You pursue that purpose. And finally, believe that you can achieve what you set your mind out to do, because it is only you who can infuse that passion and dedication to make things happen. As you're moving, there's another thing that comes to my mind, two important things, And I think these are high-value things for you. So maybe you may want to practice those. And believe me, CEOs of today's companies are also affirming these 2 points. One is to develop an attitude of thanksgiving, saying thank you for all the big things as well as the small things that you're blessed with and you will continue to be blessed with. It's rightly said, you can either be grateful for what you have received or whine and complain. It eventually only boils down to what kind of an attitude you hold on to. And the second point, to demonstrate at every given opportunity, empathy, kindness, and compassion. And yes, please do not expect anything in return. Empathy, I've always believed, is man's prized possession. For all of us to have it or to aspire towards it is something wonderful. Many will advise you to follow your dreams, follow your passions, be the go-getter, focus on being number one, climb the ladder, have your names on the headlines. Absolutely, why not? All good. But add to that a dash of gratitude and tons of empathy and compassion in what you do. And believe me, you will see that difference in your own life and the lives of all that you encounter. On behalf of the entire GIIS fraternity, I want to wish you the best for whatever path you may choose. And as we bid you adieu, let me invite you to remain connected with the school. Make your parents proud, make the school proud. Remember to join the alumni union that we have, because we want to have you back at all times. Congratulations and wish you all the best. God bless you. Thank you for clapping in the end and saving all your energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa ma'am, for your words of wisdom and inspiring address to our students. Your advice on how to empower ourselves and strive for the best is a lesson we can all be inspired by. We would now like to call upon Chairman and Co-founder, Mr. Atul Termonikar, to address the audience.
It gives me immense pleasure to be with you today as you all embark on a new phase in your life's journey. This new phase will bring with it numerous exciting opportunities for you to explore the world, experience new sides of life, and widen your horizons, which will enable you to shape your career. Let me begin by congratulating each one of you on your achievements during this excellent journey that you had with GIIS. I'm sure each and every one of you has an enormously bright future and are ready to venture out into the new normal post-COVID world with renewed confidence and vigor. It is truly incredible to see how strong, dynamic, energetic, and innovative each one of you has grown up to become. The strong foundation that has been laid by the school, instilling the right moral values, will not just help you to achieve your dreams, but will empower you to become responsible citizens of the community. You now have an access to several opportunities in the world to be the change you want to see. It would give us immense happiness to see you become the change and bring positive and sustainable new changes to the world. To excel in your desired fields, there are no specific success mantras that you need to follow, but I would like to share with you a few tips that could help you give shape to your future. Number one, discipline. There is no substitute for being disciplined in life. It is the bridge between your dreams and the realization of those dreams. So remember, no discipline equal to no success. Imagine being in a corporate or a self-employed world where challenges and opportunities are an integral part of it. Being disciplined would help you find the most relevant solutions and plan your actions and be ready to smilingly grab those challenges and the opportunities. One of the best examples I can quote is that of Mukesh Ambani, who is more talked about in the media in terms of his billion-dollar assets. But many of you may not know what is Mukesh Ambani in terms of a person or in terms of a leader. You would have never heard of his persona as defined by someone very close to him. A friend of mine works very closely with Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and that person described Mr. Mukesh as the finest example of being a disciplined leader, an extremely hardworking leader, whose colleagues are usually not surprised if they receive a reply from him at 3 a.m. in the night. Mr. Mukesh is perhaps one of the world's finest examples of being a great thinker, a mind-boggling innovator, and an outstanding project implementer, all at the same time. Each of you have the potential, ability, and access to plenty of opportunities to hone these qualities. And even if you internalize just 5% of how Mukesh works or how he is as a leader, you would most likely succeed in your mission. Like Steve Jobs once quoted, to turn really interesting ideas and fledgling technologies into a company that can continue to innovate for years, it requires a lot of discipline. Discipline is the stepping stone for you to excel, be it in your learning journey or in your professional life. Number 2, stay nimble and focused to keep the right balance between what you have and what you want to achieve. Your goals, your aspirations are priceless. They give you a direction and a purpose in life. We encourage you to remain focused, cling on to your dreams, and think of ways how you can turn them into a reality. Like Michelle Obama once said, the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work for them. So, whatever your aspirations, your goals are, if they are aligned with your passion and you can stay focused, there is no looking back for you to achieve them. At the same time, never fear obstacles coming into your way while you are en route to achieving your dreams and you don't want to be unrealistic as well. There may be missed opportunities or even missed outcomes or worst, absolute failure at times, but staying focused and keeping your feet grounded is what is the key to survival. Be practical as well as generous in your ideals, but be mindful of means that will bear those into a reality. Keep your eyes on the stars, but remember to keep your feet on the ground, as quoted by Theodore Roosevelt. Number 3, learn to relearn. This holds true for each one of us, especially for global citizens like you. In your learning journey, it is very important for you to stay open to ideas, to be curious, and look for ways to keep your learning curve always upwards. There is a very interesting saying, learn what not to do so you remain focused, rather than always learn to do something. Simply put, ask yourself, what should I not be doing to ensure I achieve my goals? There is no end to learning. The more inquisitive you are to learn new things, the lesser the mistakes you would end up making. It's like a game of tennis. You see those games being played at Wimbledon and various other courts in the world. The winner is not really the person who simply plays the best shots, but who could be also the one who makes the least forced errors. And you know, learning happens in a 360-degree manner, whether it's in life or in classroom education. It's much more beyond that. As a school, we have always encouraged you to discover yourself by not just focusing on academics, but to explore your talent in numerous other fields, be it sports, music, art, or any other area. You have to be encouraged to showcase your talents and to focus on honing your skills, which we believe will help you in your holistic development. More importantly, these are opportunities given to you to allow you to discover yourself and your personality. And then, once you get to know your strengths and weaknesses, then you are able to reinforce your strengths and improve on your weaknesses. The universal values and ethics that you have instilled to be a responsible global citizen helps you stand out from the crowd and gives you the strength to achieve your dreams. In doing so, you must first believe in yourself. Listening to your inner voice, your intuition, and your strength will help you to carve your own niche. Also, the lessons you learn from your parents, the wisdom of your elders, the advice from your teachers will always hold you strong in this super competitive world. As you step out of the school, I hope these tips will help you in some way in shaping up your future. We truly believe that a couple of years down the line, you will touch newer heights in your careers and have a very good time in your lives ahead. So from all of us, we wish you all the very best in your endeavors. We would also like to thank your parents for their constant support in ensuring you have a great journey at GIIS. There is nothing more satisfying or motivating than hearing the success stories of your journey. And as you explore new horizons, gaining new experiences while climbing the ladder of success, we would encourage you to come forward and help the younger generation at GIIS and other schools of GSF by becoming their buddies and mentors. It will definitely help them to become wiser and become future ready like yourself. We wish you a safe stay in whichever city you are heading. Stay healthy and happy and nimble always.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Moving on, we now have an enthralling performance for today's special ceremony by none other than our talented students from grade 11 who are here to perform for us today. So let us all sit back and enjoy the melodies of our musicians.
I knew this would happen to you. Inside I did, but I refuse to know the truth. I'm letting on this side, still home with you. Think I know where my friends put on the bravest face. The tilt between the legs, something's about to change. My mother let them know something's about to change. To keep your mouth shut, say. Oh. Baby, I've been there before. I was there, somebody feeling inside. Someone.
in the end, it's all that
Tell me how the bright star. What's your favorite color? What makes you so tired? And please don't let go when you've had enough. I'm on my knees.
Baby, I've been there before. I was at the point when I was really one. Just want some more, and I'm still hanging on. I was at the end of every tether, waiting for what was mine. Baby, I've been there before. I was at the end of every tether, waiting for some more. I'm still hanging on. I was at the end of every tether, waiting for what was right.
I'm a puppet on a string, chase the islands. I'm traveling diamonds, good at shaped heartaches. Come to find you, I found it somewhere when morning is too late. Just silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind where she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, cause this isn't where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself, for I wanna hear you say, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Guess what I'm trying to say is I'm deep and deep, imagining meeting wished away. Entire lifetimes I misbehaving. The days are the days and fade away. In my mind where she's not right there beside me, I go crazy, cause this isn't where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself, for I wanna hear you say, are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Are you mine? Yeah, through all the chase moves in mysterious ways, and I know I'm mistaken. I just wanna hear you say you got me, baby. Are you mine? a silver lining, Lone Ranger riding through an open space. In my mind where she's now right beside me, I go crazy, cause this isn't where I wanna be. And satisfaction feels like a distant memory, and I can't help myself, for I wanna hear it say, are you mine? 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 Are you mine?
Give it up for our musicians, ladies and gentlemen. That was indeed an exhilarating performance.
The first ever Sports Fun for Grads was a highly awaited, first of its kind event that all of the graduates of 2022 participated in and enjoyed thoroughly. This year marked the first of many such events, and we look forward to celebrating it year after year.
It must have been truly amazing to be out in the open field, enjoying and competing in various sports after a long and dull enclosed COVID period. It's no doubt that this experience is extremely memorable, as it will be probably the last time they all play together while in school. This event brought out the best of each student in their respective sport of interest. It was a great opportunity for them to spend happy, zealous moments with their peers, people with whom they spent years together. These memories will certainly be cherished forever.
The activities included were basketball, badminton, football, tennis, and a friendly tug of war. Let us take a look at what happened yesterday. Let us take a moment to congratulate our young athletes who emerged as winners of this sporting event. Let's begin with the badminton doubles girls category. The winners are Nandita Ramesh and Mahi Rati. Following them are the runners-up Geetu Vishwant and Neha Anita Suresh.
Moving on to the next category, the badminton's doubles boys, the winners of which are Ajay Arvind and Vignesh Venkat. And the runners-up are Veet Shah and Vignesh Venkat.
Moving forward with the winners of the tennis doubles category, we have Ajay Arvind and Vignesh Venkat. The runners-up of the same category are Disha Asuri and Aparaj Satesh. Last but not least, we present the winners of the basketball event. Pragyan Pratyush, Asmit Sinha, Dhananjay Madhavan, Raghav Pandey, Siddhartha Khamble, Daksh Nair, and Aditya Hari Iyer. And the runners-up are Disha Asuri, Kevin Rodriguez, Shrishti Ramakrishnan, Pranay Tiwari, and Shamita Suresh Kumar, and Veda Bhatt.
Congratulations to all the winners. We hope all the participants had a memorable time. We now take extreme pride and pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Vinika D. Rao. Dr. Vinika is an Executive Director, INSEAD Emerging Markets Institute, Gender Initiative and Africa Initiative, and Asia Director, INSEAD Hoffman Global Institute for Business and Society. She also serves as an adjunct professor in Singapore Management University. Her research is in gender diversity in leadership, male allyship, millennials, and intergenerational influences on the workplace. Prior to joining INSEAD, she was Associate Professor of Strategy at the SP Jain Center of Management, Singapore. She has taught MBA, EMBA, and undergraduate students and has conducted specialized programs for corporate clients. Dr. Vinika currently sits on the boards of a non-profit organization and a think tank and advises diversity and inclusion initiatives at global organizations. She is also Ambassador, Power Women of India, International Advisory Committee, Modi University for Women, and SB Jain Return to Work Program, Ambassador, SHE 2030, and Advisory Board 9x9.
Dr. Vinika is passionate about supporting women managers to make fulfilling work-life decisions, aiming to do this through active sponsorship rather than mentorship alone. She strives to engage both men and women in the effort to foster gender balance in their organizations and communities. She believes that businesses has the potential to be a force for good, led by managers who value social impact and are committed to the UN Sustainability Development Goals. Ma'am, we eagerly wait to hear your inspiring words.
Thank you for that gracious introduction. I'm sorry for so long. It's always difficult to follow a wonderful musical performance and sports, etc., with a speech. So you guys feel free to clap as often as you like while I'm speaking, just to make sure you're awake. Thank you. Chairman Atul, Management Committee, Principal Maria, teachers, parents, families, and most of all, graduating students, class of 2022. It's a real pleasure to be here with you all today. As you take your first step into marking your presence in the real world. I hope that when you look back at this day in the future, you'll think of this day with a sense of pride for what you've achieved, a sense of gratitude for what you've received, a sense of excitement for what lies ahead, and a sense of nostalgia for what you're leaving behind. High school is a very special time in all of our lives. But I think for you guys, it probably became a little too unique with the vagaries of COVID-19 that got visited upon you. But I'm sure everything that happened through COVID-19 and having your last 2 or 3 years of high school with the pandemic around you have made your class a stronger class and a class that's able to face any other challenge that might come in the future with greater creative resilience and agility. So I think before I say anything else, we have to all of us give a big round of applause to the class of 2022. We are really proud of you. Thank you. I still remember my own high school graduation day quite clearly. Not because I was valedictorian or I have my name up on a dusty plaque that nobody's reading. Of course, academic excellence is important before your teachers throw me out. But, what I remember most actually are the friends that I made and some of my beloved teachers, some of whom I'm actually still in touch with today. So I was in New York over the winter, and it was supposed to be a short trip, but it ended up becoming quite long because of COVID-19. I think it was Omicron that kicked in, and I was unable to come back to Singapore. But what made that extension of my trip memorable was that I was able to reconnect with two classmates from my high school. So this was about 3 decades, that's over 30 years. Yes, that is how ancient I am. But we were meeting after so long for the first time, and yet when we started talking, the years just melted by, and we were able to talk non-stop for hours. So as you folks look around the room today, if you can see faces that you think you will have that kind of connection with, treasure these foundational relationships. Treasure your friends and your teachers who've seen you in these formative years, because they're the ones who are going to keep you grounded, whatever comes ahead and whatever fantastic achievements you might have in the future, especially as you make your way into that real world. Now, we keep talking to you about the real world. What is this real world really all like? So as you heard in that rather long introduction, I work in a business school environment. So when we talk about the real world, we use a term very frequently that I'm sure some of you have heard. It's VUCA. Have you heard the term VUCA? Yes, I see some of you nodding. So VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So that's a really bombastic word. And it came apparently from the US Army to describe the tumultuous situation in the world after the Cold War. And that's what we've been using to describe the real world. But in the aftermath of the pandemic, even VUCA has started to seem like too tame a word to use. Given that we were just about getting used to living with COVID-19, and then of course the terrible destruction of war has been visited upon the world, adding to the fact that we have a planet in peril, we have climate catastrophes, we have economic issues like poverty, hunger, income inequalities, etc. So a new acronym has now emerged to describe that real world. You might have heard of it. My students tell me that we've moved away from VUCA world to a BANI world. B-A-N-I, BANI. Anyone heard of that? Yeah, I see a couple of nods. So for the benefit of those of you who haven't heard of BANI, let me tell you a little bit about what it stands for. So B, in B-A-N-I, BANI, B is for brittle. And it refers to the fact that our futures, our lives seem to be a little brittle, susceptible to a new catastrophe at any point. A is for anxious, which apparently describes the most prevalent sentiment today of anxiety in reaction to these events. N is for non-linear, to talk about the fact that world events can seem quite disconnected, and they can have a disproportionate impact on our lives. And finally, I is for incomprehensible. And that might be the feeling you get sometimes, all of you young folks, when you look at some of the decisions that so-called rational adults are making for the world today, which are impacting your futures, right? So as you step out into this BANI world, it can feel very worrisome, I'm sure, and frightening as you leave the comfort of this wonderful school and your safe homes to embark on college or whatever else you've decided to do next. But what takes us away from all of this doom and gloom of the BANI world is the hope that you guys represent. Because this real world that you're stepping into is also a world of huge opportunities, the most incredible opportunities, opportunities that you will benefit from and opportunities that you will create. So if I try to think of just a few of these opportunities that come to mind, and I was making a note earlier this morning, it's of course unprecedented technological innovations. I'm sure that's something that you can relate to. It's the fact that you will probably have spectacular scientific, creative, and cultural, artistic breakthroughs that many of you are going to make. Environmental, societal, and governance decisions that your generation will take, which will counter these BANI situations that I've spoken about earlier. But perhaps most important of all is the opportunity that comes from the fact that there are people today, and hopefully people like you, who are working very determinedly towards a better collective future for all. These are the people that we refer to as steward leaders. And that's my hope for all of you today, that you're all going to develop and grow into steward leaders. So if I may take a minute now to talk about steward leadership, because stewardship might be a concept that's unfamiliar to some of you, or most of you perhaps. It's a relatively unused term, but it's a term that we're using more and more these days. So to put it very simply, stewardship is about making sure of two things. Whatever we do has an impact on people and things other than ourselves. We want to make sure that that impact is positive. Right? So quite straightforward. If I do something that's going to impact someone else, I just need to make sure that my influence on the others, whether it's on people or on things, is a positive influence. Right? So if all of us just start to do this, two things will happen. First, we will all act with the awareness that anything we do influences others besides ourselves. And second, it will make us act with the determination that that consequence of my actions on others has to be positive rather than negative. And if all of us just decide to do this together, then we will be able to counter all of these problems associated with Barney that I've been talking about. And this is the concept of doing well by doing good that I'm sure you guys have heard of, right? Okay, so this is my request to you all, the graduating class of 2022 now. Each of you wonderfully smart, enthusiastic, determined young folks, make a promise today that you will each fulfill your personal potential of being the best you can be in terms of being responsible and humble stewards of the many resources that have been made available to you. The resources of this excellent education that you've clearly received, money, safe homes, parents and families who clearly support you, a clean environment. We're so lucky to be in Singapore. And I don't have to remind you that many others don't have these resources, right? So that puts special responsibility on you. And while we're talking about responsibilities, I think I do have to apologize on behalf of my generation, because we have certainly created a lot of the problems that you're going to have to face. But in our defense, I think I can also say with confidence that this education that you've received, the networks that you've started to create, and most of all, the families, the love of your parents that you've received, prepare you and provide you with the foundation that you need to be effective stewards of your own destiny and the destiny of planet Earth. I'm sure you can all think of many inspiring examples of people who have made a positive impact by being effective stewards, where stewardship comes from the heart, not because it's, regulatory pressures or it's monetary requirements or maybe it makes you more famous like that, but because it truly comes from the heart. The idea of doing well by doing good. And that's what I request that each of you think about as you step out, and I hope that's what you will take with you today. So in conclusion, class of 2022, as we celebrate your achievements today, we are also entrusting you with our collective future. Go forth, go carefully forward, and steward the change towards building a more responsible society, a more inclusive and sustainable society, and a better future for all of us. A big round of applause and big happiness to the class of 2022. Congratulations and thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring address. We are sure your words of motivation will go a long way to inspire the young graduates. Graduation is a day of rejoicing. It marks the conclusion of an educational journey and the commencement of another more uncertain, more arduous, but also exciting part of an individual's quest for a suited future. And on that note, we must take this opportunity to thank those without whom our students wouldn't be here today.
Known by many as the Super League of GIS, our students know them as the wonder men and women who somehow managed to sit through all day and night, aiding every arising problem, be it getting students to push through their deadlines or providing needed emotional support. This graduation wouldn't have been possible without the constant effort of our teachers.
Before we move on to the presentation of the mementos, we would like to inform the audience that this event is going to go live, as we could not have some of the graduates attend physically. We will facilitate them nevertheless. Without further ado, let us commence with the presentation of the diplomas for the proud young batch of graduates of 2022. We once again would like to invite the guest of honor, Dr. Vinika D. Rao, to present the mementos for the graduates of IBDP Section A. Thank you, ma'am. Outstanding and serene, Abba Gokhale. Mature and responsible, Ahana Banerjee. Well-behaved and serene, Akansha Ingle. Cheerful and determined, Anushka Singh. Energetic and enthusiastic, Anusha Bakshi. Persevering and pleasant, Anushka Bharadwaj. Lively and helpful, Ariman Emmanuel. Gentle and hardworking, Bhavishya Tata. Confident and industrious, Ekanj Rathore. Polite and sincere, Gauri Rajiv. Jovial and tactful, Hamza Pagriwala. Confident and keen, Ishita Bhatia. Efficient and humble, Mahek Rajesh Arora. Artistic and lively, Maitri Harishankar. Jovial and determined, Martin Baijunumpeli. Capable and cheerful, Meera Salil. Imaginative and determined, Moti Krishnan Veeramani. Capable and confident, Naren Satyaprakash. Resourceful and bright, Prachur Khandelwal. Adventurous and meticulous, Prajna Gaun. Thank you, ma'am, for presenting the mementos to our beloved graduates. We now request you to stay on stage and request Melissa, ma'am, to come up to the stage and present the token of appreciation. Melissa, ma'am, could you please come up to the stage? Ma'am, we once again thank you and request you to take a seat and enjoy the rest of the ceremony. Next, we would now like to call... Next, we would like to call upon our chairman and co-founder of Global Schools Foundation, Mr. Atul Tarmonikar. Moving on to the next section. Devoted and industrious, Prakhar Agarwal. Lively and confident, Sanchari Das. Motivated and cheerful, Sangya Mahendran. Pleasant and jovial, Samya Desai. Diligent and determined, Shamita Suresh Kumar. Cheerful and hardworking, Shriya Chabra. Beautiful and responsible, Sonakshi Mishra. Charming and energetic, Srijana Basu. Sharp and industrious, Shrishti Ramakrishnan. Delightful and determined, Sudiksha Singh. Well-behaved and enthusiastic, Suraj Kumar. Industrious and serene, Trai Sharma. Open-minded and sociable, Yohin Maharaj Ashta. Thank you, sir. We request you to take a seat.
Now, we would like to request our Senior Director and Group Finance Controllers of Global Schools Foundation, Mr. Prafulla Raut, to present the mementos for the graduates of IBDP Section B. Cheerful and determined, Adi Jain. Hardworking and mature, Aksh Sharma. Focused and pleasant, Arjun Seth. Capable and helpful, Belana Srimai. Charming and determined, Charvi Agarwal. Cheerful and determined, Deekshanya Anuradhay. Active and hardworking, Divakar Desai. Jovial and mature, Divya Prashant. Friendly and gentle, Jagat Jacob Roshan. Warm and friendly, Kushi Chand. hardworking and humble, Neha Santosh Nair. Independent and imaginative, Nishant Mario Vincent. Hardworking and mature, Pranav Swaminathan. Persevering and pleasant, Riya Rao. Bold and determined, Roshni Sen. Calm and industrious, Sairam Nandakumar. Thank you, sir. Oh. Thank you, sir. We request you to take a seat. Now, we would like to request Chief Investment Officer of Global Schools Foundation, Mr. Prasoon Dayal, to present the mementos for the graduates of IBDP Section B. Cheerful and serene, Sanjana Rajesh. Adventurous and brave, Shakti Vel Prabhakaran. Confident and determined, Shivangi Jaiswal. Creative and respectful, Shrutika Katakam. Independent and honest, Siddharth Anant Dargaonkar. Charming and daring, Sindhu Shri Muddam. Polite and gentle, Snehal Badani. Calm and skillful, Sri Vitan Vinu. Cheerful and determined, Tanay Suresh. Hardworking and determined, Tanisha Anand. Courteous and energetic, Sri Vikram Patanayak. Calm and serene, Urvi Sanyal. Diligent and determined, V. Vignesh Rao. Creative and respectful, Vaishnavi Kishore. Honest and gentle, Varish Sriram. Imaginative and determined, Yuvraj Sood. Thank you, sir. We request you to take a seat. Congratulations to the graduates from IBDP Year 2A and B.
Our parents have always been the ones to nurture our bodies and souls. Thus, every small step that we take, every achievement we make, and dream we pursue is an acknowledgement of their love, their effort, and the opportunities that they made possible. They live through every joy and sorrow with us, whether it is spending sleepless nights before an exam or their anxiety, pride, and excitement to see us go up on stage. Thus, to mark this important graduation day, we have a parent voice to complement this occasion. We would now like to call upon Ms. Pratibha Gokhale, parent of Abha Gokhale, to share their sentiments on this memorable occasion.
Hello everyone, it's so wonderful to be here. Dear Melissa ma'am, Chairman Atul Temurnikar, guest of honor Dr. Vinika Rao, the management committee, teachers, faculty, dear students, and of course my dearest fellow parents. So when we moved to Singapore, right, 8 years back, so my husband and I were those very typical parents, very apprehensive about how we're going to go, how is our daughter going to adjust to the new environment in Singapore and the new school, and what is it that we could do to really further her holistic development. And I remember this conversation that we had back then. Hey, what does holistic development even mean? And we thought, hey, wouldn't it be nice if, of course, she needs to do well academically and really, hopefully she'll, find the subjects that she will really love. Maybe she'll pick up an art form that she can really thrive in and a hobby that's really for life. And now it just astonishes me, 8 years onwards, that we found all this right here under the roof of GIIS. We didn't even have to go out really. I'm very thankful to Abha's teachers who've instilled a love for especially some of her really chosen subjects. Her really wonderful dance guru, Shrabonti, I don't know if she's here, who's taught her the very elegant dance form of Odissi and given her so many opportunities to perform on so many prestigious platforms. And finally, her English teachers and the school and the faculty itself who've been so encouraging with lots of opportunities for her to really nurture her literary side. So I've really seen this growth in confidence, skills, knowledge in my own daughter. But today is not just about her. It's about all our students, all our children. And every time I've had the opportunity to interact with her friends, her classmates, I see the same growth in confidence and skills and just this, this wonderful attitude. And that is really thanks to the school, thanks to everyone. So for instance, whether it's events like Model UN or the real world challenges, the Jankar, then you have the Global Indian Stars. So many of these events have really given opportunities for students to pick up and really thrive. And as they find their way, they're becoming great leaders. They're going on to become entrepreneurs. Some of them, their creative side has really come out, and we've seen that today as well. So all of this, I think, is definitely thanks to the school. And thanks to the school for giving the opportunities that have really helped our kids in this journey of understanding what really sets them apart, who they are, what are their strengths, their passions, and what is it that they really want to do next. And therefore, looking back today when our kids graduate from IB, not just from IB, but from school life itself, there is just this one overwhelming feeling. And I'm sure all of you are feeling it as well. And that is just of gratitude. The gratitude that we feel in our hearts to be here at this exact moment and to be celebrating this momentous milestone with our kids. And these kids, and all of us, I think, together with them, they have conquered so many challenges over the last few years. And very uniquely to this cohort, of course, they couldn't give their grade 10 exams, and they had 2 very crucial years which they had to go through during the pandemic with all the online classes. There were a lot of challenges, and it really tested their discipline and their fortitude, and they have come out. They have come out of this stronger and resilient, and they are definitely better together as we see them now. So I think a big round of applause to all our kids who've been so wonderful through the pandemic and of course over the last few years itself. They say it takes there's this very common saying which says it takes a village to raise a child, and rightly so, right? To raise these kids here, it's taken all of us here in this room and many of you who are watching this virtually. It really takes all of us to nurture even just one child. And at the very, very beginning of this list are the teachers. The teachers at GIIS have been instrumental in not just sharing, of course, the knowledge and skills, but they have done so with love, care, and compassion. Most of us, we're bringing up 1 or 2 kids, but the teachers here, all of you are invested in hundreds of students and their growth, and you've been doing it with so much dedication and so much commitment. And yes, there have been times when you've had to take tough decisions, right? So you had to make the tough choice. But we know that you did it with the larger purpose in mind, with the larger interests of the students in mind. And for all this, dearest teachers, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So we know that you are as invested in our kids' growth as we are, and we know when our children really step out into the world today, they are really armed with your knowledge and blessings, and thank you for that. And the faculty and the GIIS leadership, thank you for giving our children the opportunities to really grow and spread their wings. You've done your best to ensure that every child really opens up to their full potential and develops the confidence that is so important. And I think we see that the confidence in the children, as they come and even accept their IB diplomas. So thank you so much for that. And on behalf of all the parents, I want to especially thank Deepa ma'am, who has been Uh, Ma'am, I don't have to say anything more than this, right? I think it's just overwhelming the amount of love and affection all of us, parents as well as students, have for you. And thank you for being super, super responsive, especially, in one of the most challenging periods I think that we've all gone through. So thank you so much. And finally, the parent community. The parent community has been extraordinary too. You not only looked out for your own child, but you were also there for their friends and classmates. You've come together when it was required, you've come together to advocate for what is right, and you volunteered to go the extra mile when, in times of need. So thank you to all the parents for nurturing the entire cohort. So big round of applause for the parents. And now coming today I think I speak for all the parents here, when I say that today is a day of mixed feelings, like, Melissa ma'am was also talking about. We are of course all super excited for the future of our children, and we wish them the best of what life has to offer. We're also a little apprehensive because they are going away from our sheltered nests, our homes, of course, as well as GIS itself, their home away from home. We are hopeful because we know that together with the school, we have done our best to really give strength to their wings, made their wings strong, and now they must and they will take flight. There's also, I think, a tinge of sadness that our little ones who relied on us for everything till just the other day, now they're on the cusp of adulthood, freedom, independence. And wisdom tells us that this is just the wheel of time, and cliche as it may sound, the only thing that's certain in life is change itself. So if we have a choice to feel what we want to feel today, I would say, hey, let's go with joy, let's go with happiness. So what we can do right now is recollect all the rich memories of their school life, their childhood, and take this moment, this wonderful moment today, to be fully present, joyful, and happy as we celebrate our kids and wish them the very best to live life fully, truly, happily. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your heartfelt message.
It was beautifully expressed, and we're sure that your thoughts and sentiments resonate with the audience as well.
With that, I now call upon my co-hosts, Omkar and Vishnumaya, to conduct the next segment of the ceremony.
A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I'm Omkar.
And I'm Vishnumaya.
And we'll be your MCs for the next segment of the ceremony. We would now like to invite Associate Director and Global Center for Education Excellence, Mr. Ratin Khandadia, to present the mementos for the graduates of IBDP Section C. Sir, please. First up, from IBDP 2C, we have Passionate and Patient, Akansha Kedia. Wise and Willing, Ajay Vijayanand. Sincere and Sociable, Aman Jain. Popular and Jovial, Anisha Malyala. Polite and Respectful, Anish Shah. Polite and Respectful, Anisha. educative and compassionate Anishka Chalapati. Next up, we have bold and determined Apajit Satish Kumar. Next, we have the calm and serene Arshia Chakraborty. Next, we have hardworking and determined Arshia Tama. Sincere and sociable Arun Iyer. Next up is the charming and consistent Arvind Chandrasekhar. Calm and alert, Ashutosh Menon Rajiv. The adaptable and determined, Asmit Sinha. Courteous and sensible, Daksh Nair. The resourceful and courageous, Deeksha Kapoor. Attentive and calm, Hemant Balaji. Next up is the affectionate and charming Inudevika Ramaprasad. Energetic and friendly, Kirtana Vijay Das. Imaginative and determined, Krish Nijwan. Next up is the hardworking and polite Krishna Roth. Thank you, sir. We request you to take a seat. We now request PYP Coordinator Ms. Manju Nair to facilitate the next batch of graduates. Next up, we have the knowledgeable and passionate Malika Mohanty. Self-confident and determined, Misbah Sheikh. Warm-hearted and zestful, Pranav Nishad. Next up is the proficient and determined, Purajit Bhatt. The capable and industrious, Ramita Mahadevan. Self-confident and marvelous, Ridhima Bhayana. Next up is the cheerful and sincere, Ridhima Asulekar. Ambitious and diligent, Seema Velin. Creative and courageous, Shruti Seturaman. The cheerful and jovial, Siddharth Kamble. Industrious and eager, Soham Jaibhai. Humble and determined, Soumya Iyer. Enthusiastic and composed, Subodhini Vignesh. The cheerful and energetic, Veda Bhatt. Thank you, ma'am. We request you to take a seat. We would now like to invite the IBDP coordinator, Ms. Deepa Chandrasekharan, to present mementos for the graduates of Section D. First up, we have the prudent and humble, Achyut Ambadi. Industrious and calm, Adhav Singh. Curious and open-minded, Aditya Iyer. Conscientious and intelligent, Akshay Rajeshwari. Quiet and hardworking, Anarghya Prashant. Next up is the industrious and determined, Anshika Singh. Quiet and ambitious, Arya Jayakumar. Humble and determined, Aryan Padye. Next up is the conscientious and intelligent, Ayushman Khurana. Polite and respectful, Dhruv Vutukuru. Next up is the thorough and industrious, Ishita Agarwal. Next up is the ambitious and diligent, Joanna Jeffy. Next up is the persistent and proficient, Kevin Rodriguez. The polite and humble, Kishan Hebberg. Thank you, ma'am. We request you to take a seat. We would now like to invite CBSE coordinator, Ms. Sharda Mani, to facilitate the mementos for the next batch of graduates. Now we have the able and enthusiastic Meghna Paul. The sincere and competent Mehak Mathur. The alert and eager Melina Panda. Next up is the sociable and cheerful Om Solanki. The zealous and thorough Pranav Agarwal. profound and erudite Pranay Tiwari. Sincere and sensible Rohan Chaudhary. Friendly and gentle Sanjay Meghalai. Humble and honest Soham Gokhale. Assiduous and adventurous Shubhomita Chakraborty. Hardworking and systematic Vrindaya Yeshwani. Zealous and thorough Tanvi Kirka. Enthusiastic and appreciative Tanvi Bhatt. Faithful and diligent Venkata Pisapati. Next up is capable and polite Bilvesh Shivakumar. Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations to all the students and kudos to your fantastic achievements. We know student years involve tedious study routines, storms of deadlines, intense examination pressure, and temperatures soaring over expectations that touch the sky. But graduation day is a day of celebration. Today is the day you celebrate all the hard work and late nights you have pulled it to make it this far. We're really proud and inspired by each and every one of you. To add to the charm, we have students of grade 11 with a foot-tapping dance performance to express their delight and regale you. Enjoy.
Toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Can't live without me, you wanna, but you can't. Nah. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake, there's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. Oh, no damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't take me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Dim tadare dani dim tadare dani dim tana dere na dim tadare dani dim tadare dani dim tana dere na odani der tani tana der na odani der tani tana der na
Wasn't that just amazing? Can't stop tapping your fingers to that beat.
Before we begin with the students from IBDP Section E, I would like to remind the audience once again that this event is going to go live as some of the students are not able to attend physically. They will be facilitated nonetheless. We would now like to invite the Vice Principal of GIIS Primary Campus, Ms. Rekha Varghese, to present the mementos for the graduates of IBDP Section E. Ma'am, please. We will begin with the profound and persistent Arav Rajesh. Humble and sincere Aryan Shankar. Sociable and cheerful Abhinav Chiluveru. Hardworking and thoughtful Anirudh Ramakrishnan. Honest and gentle Anush Rawat. Polite and humble Arjun Krishnakumar. Humble and determined Arsh Emmanuel. Hardworking and determined Bhargav Prashant. Sociable and cheerful Chandra Kaushik Akumanu. Keen and enthusiastic Dhananjay Madhavan. Mature and thoughtful Disha Asuri. Capable and polite Elkin Rodriguez. Sociable and cheerful Hardik Bohidar. Quick and curious Jayaprakash Kaushal. Conscientious and faithful Kavish Surendra Shetty. Ardent and aspiring Lokansh Jalani. Thank you, ma'am. We request you to take a seat. Finally, I would like to call Melissa ma'am to present the mementos for the final set of graduates. Calm and methodical, Margav Raghu Anantaraman. Alert and eager, Manaswin Chaturvedi. Sociable and cheerful, Muhammad Saram Nazir. Calm and quiet, Naresh Kumar Nakamutu. Talented and promising, Nishtha Birla. Conscientious and diligent, Pragyan Pratyush. Profound and indefatigable, Prerna Aditi Chikoti. Diligent and ardent, Raghav Pandey. Warm and friendly, Renee and Henry. That's fine. No. Enthusiastic and consistent, Saksham Mathur. Profound and keen, Sakshi Patel. Preserving and pleasant, Shubh Jha. Calm and quiet, Sriram Sundar. Cheerful and hardworking, Toshani Roy Chaudhary. Warm and friendly, Vaishnavi Rutish. And finally, industrious and determined, Yuv Bindal. Thank you, ma'am. We now request you to take a seat. Congratulations to all the students for your achievements. We are now going to rejoice at the oath-taking ceremony for the graduating students of GIIS SMART Campus. I request all our graduates to kindly stand up for the oath. I welcome our IBDP coordinator, Ms. Deepa Chandrasekharan, to recite the oath.
Class of 2022, are we ready for the oath? Sure. Before I deliver the oath, I take this opportunity to thank the school management, principal, my dear colleagues and staff, and the parents for their immense support and timely feedback and guidance for the class of 2022. They have successfully completed the rigorous course amidst the pandemic. Special thanks to the Year 2 students who have hosted this event amidst the tight schedule and timeline. Class of 2022, we are ready for the oath. We, the graduating class of 2022, do solemnly pledge that we shall strive to use our knowledge for the welfare of humanity, to uphold human values and employ our knowledge with responsibility, to uphold the values of my country and respect all cultures, to conserve nature and its resources, and reduce unnecessary consumption, to adopt values of humility and tolerance, to avoid acts of plagiarism and respect the intellectual property rights of others. We vow to respect our teachers, family, colleagues, and most importantly, ourselves. May God be our witness and guardian. I declare the class of 2022 as graduates. You may now turn your tassel from right to left.
Graduates, we request you to keep your enthusiasm as we still have the cake cutting left over.
Please settle down.
Please remain seated. Graduation Day is an exciting time to celebrate with family and friends and to reflect on achievements while eagerly anticipating the future. It is an achievement, a milestone, and like we celebrate most milestones, we like to celebrate this joyous occasion too, by cutting a cake and marking this batch as graduated. Please welcome Bhavishya, Sudiksha, Arsia Chakraborty, Arun Nair, and Shivangi to do the honors of cutting the cake. We request Melissa ma'am and sir to join us.
Tried to cut these corners, tried to take the easy way. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again. I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh?
Over the span of the many years that the batch of 2022 have spent in GIIS, it is beyond doubt that you, our seniors, have formed a multitude of friendships that have culminated in indelible stories coupled with values and lessons during your time here. These are memories that will remain with you even after you leave us, an embodiment of the very values our school represents and stands for. I now invite our head girl, Ahana Banerjee and Ayushman Khurana from the graduating batch of 2022 to address the audience and take you on a walk down their high school journey.
A very good afternoon to everyone present here with us today. Guest of honor, Dr. Vinika Rao, Principal Melissa Ma'am, teachers, management faculty, and our dear little ones, the graduating class of 2022. It is my immense pleasure to be able to stand in front of you here today and address this exalted gathering with a speech that I have dreamt of giving for the past year. As a student who started her journey at GIIS 12 years ago, it seems incredible to me how such a long passage of time has passed in the blink of an eye. These 12 years have been filled with myriad memories which I will treasure forever, and it is with a heavy heart I must say goodbye to the school that has stood behind me for all these years. For flowers to bloom, there has to be a garden. Similarly, for students to flourish, there must be a school that provides the ambience and atmosphere to mold us into bright young individuals who are ready to face the world as it comes. Memories upon memories are etched into these walls where we spent the last 4 years of our high school education. All these places have played integral roles in our high school experience, serving as a time capsule to the memories we shared as a cohort. One such area was the lift lobby, which was crowded on a good day. And if you couldn't get into the lift, you could fill out your daily quota of exercise by running up at least 5 flights of stairs. But for those on the wrong side of fate, who would always have the opportunity to exercise their brains by having to engineer credible excuses for their tardiness. While passing by the 3rd floor, I will never forget the time we spent pacing anxiously in front of the language studio while clutching our oral transcripts hard enough to give us paper cuts for what was only a 10-minute affair. Neither would I forget our congregations in front of the library, armed with our textbooks in a last-ditch attempt to cram our brains with information that would most likely be forgotten. Then there are the cafeterias, whose tables witnessed countless birthday celebrations, a testament to all the friendships formed within these halls, and whose staff were always there with a smile on our face. Nestled between the escalator and the grab-and-go cafe is our student service center, whose staff I am eternally grateful to. They were always willing to help us out with the most banal of technical hassles, such as Wi-Fi issues, and as well as ludicrous ones like spilling juice on a computer keyboard. And of course, how can I forget our state-of-the-art school labs, where lines for chemicals during lab week would have rivaled those at Disneyland, and at times resembled a poorly funded farmer's market due to the vast number of food-related IAs. We truly did experiment on almost every type of food substance, ranging from vegetables to coffee and milk. Moving on to the mainstay of our school, without whom it would have been impossible to conquer the International Baccalaureate, our beloved teachers. They were a constant source of unbridled support and motivation. They were the ones that took time out of their hectic schedules to discuss last-minute doubts, dispense invaluable feedback, and assuage all our fears, even the most irrational ones. I truly could not imagine learning under anyone else's tutelage for the past 4 years. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the English department for taking us on a marvelous journey through the ins and outs of the English language with their characteristic wit and sarcasm that made each lesson a joy. To the second language teachers, Thank you for working around the clock to provide us with ample resources and even managing to circumvent the trials and tribulations of teaching around 2 different time zones. To the science teachers, thank you for patiently answering all the doubts we had regarding each and every concept under the sun. And for teaching me that there's no such thing as a silly question in the field of science. Thank you for being a constant source of support, encouragement, and motivation, especially during the 2 harrowing weeks we spent working on our experiments in the lab. Of course, our experiments would not have been successful without the help of the lab assistants, Ms. Jayalakshmi, Ms. Laura, and Ms. Rehana, who were always there to assist us with our experimental procedures. Their positive attitude make working on the experiments an enjoyable and educational experience for all of us. To the math department, thank you for always pushing us to strive towards our goals and to unlock our full potential even when the subject felt extremely difficult to grasp. Of course, a conversation about the math department would be incomplete without a special mention of the math IA, which was responsible for 40% of the tears we shed during IB. I truly thought I had seen it all until I witnessed people hiding under desks, behind pillars, and at times even crawling past classrooms just to avoid having to submit the math IA. Thank you for your patience and guidance during those troubling times. To the humanities department, thank you for helping us develop a critical appreciation and understanding of subjects that some of us were learning for the first time. I am extremely grateful to you for being proactive and engaging and to help us obtain a better grasp on topics that some of us had only previously heard about. To the visual arts department, thank you for allowing us to unleash our creativity and learning more about the arts. I would also like to thank our TOK department for successfully introducing us to a completely novel concept in our education and ensuring that we were comfortable every step of the way. To the academic coordinators, Ms. Beena, Ms. Shrivali, Ms. Sharada, Ms. Radha, and Ms. Lakshmi, thank you for having the students' well-being as your priority and for always being there as a support system. I would also like to thank our event coordinator, Ms. Gayatri, who is the reason each event our school host runs like clockwork. Without her guidance in the field of public speaking, I may have never been able to deliver the speech adeptly. Of course, a major cornerstone of all our school events was our tech crew, without whom it would be impossible for a function to run smoothly. I would also like to thank our academic supervisors, Ms. Deepika and Ms. Shija, who were always there to guide us through every step of the academic process. My feelings of gratitude extend to our IB coordinator, Deepa ma'am, whose resilience, passion, passion, and empathy have been key motivators throughout our tenure in the IB program. No words can describe the enormous service that she rendered to our students, guiding us at every obstacle. Her gregarious nature made it easy to approach her with any of our doubts regarding either the subject matter in economics or about the intricacies of the IB program. We truly couldn't have asked for a better coordinator. To Melissa ma'am, thank you for encouraging us to follow our passion and for allowing us to explore the myriad methods of achieving our goals. Your constant support and motivation helped us gain a better understanding of who we were as individuals and what we could achieve if we put our minds to it. Of course, our IB teachers are not the only ones who have made a lasting impression on our lives. The teacher that have taught and nurtured us throughout various phases in our school life would be delighted to see us here today, eager and ready to embark on our next stage in life. I can only hope that every teacher whose tutelage we've come under is proud of the astute and proficient student we've become today. Being a part of the IB program can often be rather daunting at times, which can impact our mental health. This is why I would like to personally thank our school's behavioral counselor, Ms. Sabahat, who has helped create a safe space for us to be able to successfully manage our stress and emotions, especially at such a fraught time. As students, we were always encouraged to pursue various extracurriculars alongside our academics, which helped inculcate pivotal skills within us, such as teamwork, entrepreneurship, and leadership, that would prepare us for life and ultimately foster all round character development, which is a testimony to our school's 9 GEMS pedagogy. Of course, we couldn't have braved the tumultuous waters of IB without the help of one very special group of people, our parents. They are our unsung heroes who helped pick us up wherever and whenever we faltered and were always there as a constant source of support and motivation. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all those parents that stayed up with us on nights where we burned the proverbial midnight oil, yet were always the first ones to wake in the morning and set the tone for the start of the day. We truly couldn't have done it without all these people in our lives. I would now like to pass on the mic to Ayushman Khurana to address the gathering.
Thanks, Ahana. Before I start, class of 2022, we've been clapping a lot for other people today, but let's put our hands together for ourselves, because truly we deserve it. Our results are coming out on the 6th of July, but whatever happens, just remember, it's not the end of the world. If LeBron can miss the playoffs and still be called the GOAT, I think we'll be fine. I still remember the day, October 2nd, 2018, when I came to the GIIS campus for the very first time. To me, the giant colorful campus felt very intimidating, and for some reason, I was very scared to attend the school. But after having spent 4 years in this institution, it feels like a second home to me, and it is an immense honor for me to be able to bid farewell to the school through this speech. Suffice to say, the class of 2022 had a very atypical journey during the IB Diploma program. With the COVID-19 pandemic switching us from regular classes to online classes and then a hybrid system, the last 2 years were full of stress for not only students, but parents and teachers as well. But this was also the period that highlighted the immense support system that GIIS has set up over the past few years in the Smart Campus. With the classes already equipped with cameras, microphones, and smart TVs, the transition to online classes was seamless for everyone, and we were able to continue education with the same efficiency as before. IB would not have been the same without the countless hours we spent in the library, catching up on work that never seemed to end. But Miss Vandana and her never-ending collection of books, resources, and exemplar essays sure did help a lot. I take this opportunity to once again thank each and every one of the teachers that stood by us during this period of uncertainty. They were able to cover the entire IB syllabus ahead of time while talking to and writing on their iPad screens, and were able to prepare us well enough for us to write the board examination as well. So once again, I would request everyone to give a huge round of applause to every teacher in GIIS. I would also like to thank the hostel warden for taking care of all my friends who had to live away from their parents for so long and giving them a home away from home. But along with our teachers, there is someone else we should be thanking right now, which is our parents. While the teachers guided us academically, our parents were there to help us in making difficult life choices, like choosing universities and a career path. And they will continue to be there for us for a long time. It's like each of us has our own personal Yoda, spouting wisdom and guiding us as we start the next part of our life journey. We cannot even begin to imagine the stress our parents must have felt during the COVID-19 pandemic, having to juggle home responsibilities, work from home, and us kids in the house during online classes. We may have felt that quarantine and online classes were a break from our rigorous daily schedules, but for our parents, it was a period with even more work and responsibilities. So once again, put your hands together for our parents who have always been there for us when we needed them. This feeling of thankfulness ties into our learning in the IB Diploma program as well. IB taught us to be principled and caring, and the program has been carefully curated to provide an opportunity for holistic, all-rounded growth for the students. As difficult as it may have been to adjust to the concept of internal assessments, extended essay, and theory of knowledge, each of them taught us skills that we will be using for the rest of our lives. Along with providing us with the academic knowledge needed, IB also taught us the basics of research work and exploration in various other fields and showed us how to present our thoughts in a systematic and efficient manner. Once again, I would like to personally thank Ashwin sir and Deepa ma'am for allowing us to organize an astronomical number of CAS events in these past 2 years. It not only saved us from burnout from academics, but it also allowed us to interact with juniors and seniors and strengthen bonds between the different curriculums that GIIS offers. I know many of us cannot even begin to imagine how different IB would be for us if we had not been able to organize the countless debate and model UN events that we did. And of course, we'd never get to see Pragyan stuck in a chair again. The vast subject choices offered by IB allowed us to expand our academic knowledge into different fields, be it learning the basics of finance and economics or learning a completely new language. And this knowledge will stay with us throughout our lives. It is fascinating how in just 2 years of high school, we have been able to learn so much academically on top of the extracurriculars and university application. Truly, IB was one of the best curriculums we could have chosen for the last 2 years of our high school. But now, we are getting close to the end of our high school journey, with the IB results coming out in just 5 days. After that, it is only a matter of time before a lot of us go off to university or to serve this country in the form of national service. But at this point, we must all thank our career counseling team of Mr. Jonathan and Ms. Seema, who organized countless webinars and maintained a robust alumni network to give us information and contacts and help us make an informed decision about our university choices. Over the years we have spent as part of the Global Schools family, we have forged long-lasting friendships and lost some friends on the way as well. There are people we didn't even know a year or two ago that are now some of our closest friends. But as we step into adulthood and go off on our separate paths, we must remember the friendships we have built from the ground up in this institution. Let us vow to keep in touch for as long as we can, because who knows, 5 years from now, we'll all be in different corners of the world pursuing our passions with new friends and communities. Let us always remember the time we have spent here at GIIS and with each other. I wish everyone here the best of luck for the upcoming IB results, and I truly hope that we all find success and happiness wherever we end up in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayushman and Ahana.
We too walk down the memory lane with you. We wish you the very best for your future and the start of a new journey into adulthood as you step out of the school's premise. With that, I would now like to call upon Vaishnavi Kishore to extend the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vaishnavi Kishore, and I'm a member of the graduating batch of 2022. I'm honored and humbled by this opportunity to reminisce the moments I've made as a student at GIIS since the day I stepped into Balestier campus in 2008. As we embark on the next phase of our journey, we, as the class of 2022, would be failing in our duty if we did not acknowledge the efforts of those who provided stepping stones for us to reach where we are today. I would like to express my gratitude to Melissa ma'am, the school management, teachers, and the tech team for putting together such a beautiful ceremony for us. A big thank you to our guest of honor for the day, Dr. Vinika Rao, for taking out time from her busy schedule to be with us here today. I would like to thank all the students and teachers who gave their all to put up mesmerizing performances for us. Thank you all for making this a day that each one of us will look back on and cherish for years to come. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our seniors for being so willing to share their nuggets of wisdom with us. We have been able to avoid making so many blunders because of their advice. To our dear teachers and extracurriculars department, we owe all the gratitude and apologies. Thank you for imbibing in us an appreciation for learning. Thank you for taking the time and effort with us to ensure that things always clicked. Thank you for being stringent and generous in equal measure. We have been a handful, and the circumstances, especially in the last 2 years, have not always been favorable. but the determination, conviction, and poise with which you lit up our paths have helped this day become a reality for all of us. I owe special gratitude to Deepa ma'am, our IB coordinator. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us from the very start to the very end. Thank you for taking care of every little and big thing along the journey. Thank you. Thank you to all the parents and guardians without whom the class of 2022 might not have been standing here as it is. Many of you have given up years of your life and put your own aspirations and dreams on hold to ensure that we succeed. Your selflessness cannot be repaid, but I hope that you are proud of how far we have come and the people that we have become. Thank you for making our goals yours, making sure that we don't neglect our health, and learning every acronym that came along with our schooling, from GNT and PTMs all the way to IAs and EEs. Even if you didn't always quite remember what they stood for, thank you for always having our backs. To my peers, the graduating batch of 2022, thank you for being the best companions that one could ask for. I have loved getting to know you, be it through our interactions with one another or simply by sitting together in a comfortable silence when we were all too exhausted to say a word. No matter how exciting the next phase of our journey will be, my heart will still ache at the thought of leaving behind this institution and the people it has brought into my life. Over the last 14 years, the opportunities that I've been provided to meet heads of state, develop and hone skills, and build friendships that will last a lifetime have made me the person I am today. I'm sure my fellow graduates would agree that we would have not become who we are today without the efforts of our teachers, parents, families, GIIS management, staff, and classmates. You did more than prepare us academically. You prepared us for life. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to be here today and for listening to me speak. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. We'd like to thank all our graduates for their hard work and perseverance throughout this IBDP journey. I would now like to request all of you to rise up for the national anthem.
now like to thank each and every member of the audience, staff, and parents for adding to the joy. We request you all to partake for refreshments in level 3 cafeteria. We once again thank you and have a marvelous day ahead.